A guy at work the other day was telling me about how he heard that on the tops of cans there are these little worms, and when you drink out of the can, sometimes they'll burrow up into your lip and lay little eggs and create a whole ecosystem of microbiology bullshit going on in your mouth, and how grossed out he was, and how he was going to stop using cans. No more Monster, no more soda. I didn't give a shit. I mean, he's telling me this, and I'm thinking about how I remember when McDonald's warehouses, they found human flesh inside of them that was probably going into the food. I mean, I don't fucking care. McDonald's is the cheapest, most tasty option, and I'm gonna keep going there until I bite into a fucking human hand in a bun. And if it tastes good, I might keep eating. I mean, what, am I gonna go to fucking Burger King and pay an extra $10 for food just so I don't become a cannibal and eat human flesh? Hi, I'm Three Gnomes in a Fat Suit, and today I feel like talking about food. And if food to you sounds like a little pedantic of a topic, I should remind you that I listed this Banquet Mega Meal in my first video as one of the top 10 reasons I'm probably not going to kill myself. And the fact that I'm still here should indicate that it's working. Now, growing up, my family was... what's the politically correct way to say this? Socioeconomically poor. Poor as fuck. We didn't get to go out all the time. We didn't eat a lot of fast food. We ate the meals that we could make at home, and typically, because especially growing up in the South, I tended to eat pretty well portioned meals. Not that you can tell now, but growing up, I was very thin. In fact, growing up, they tended to call me beanpole, which is something in the South that they call skinny people. Skinny people get called beanpole growing up, and if you're fat, you get called butterball. So no matter what, if you grow up in the South, you're going to get some insulting nickname. And that's only if you're an average white male. God help anyone else growing up in the South. Sorry. Moving on. So, growing up, I was around 140 and about 6 foot tall in high school. And then I graduated, I got my own job, I had little responsibilities, so I mainly just bought a bunch of fucking fast food for pretty much every single meal. If it wasn't fast food, it was cinnamon rolls, or donuts, or honey buns, or literally fucking anything except well-portioned meals. Now, over the course of like a couple years, I went from 140 to 270, 270 pounds. And that's what happens when you primarily eat the way that I do. I mean... look at this shit. I just have this shit laying around. I didn't save this for the video. I just had this. I've just been eating this. And those Banquet Mega Meals, those aren't just for show either. I eat those at least 4 out of 7 days a week for my main dinner. To emphasize how much I love those, I made a fucking montage of me making them to emphasize to you how fucking great they are. So, do it. Do the thing. So I eat processed food pretty much every single meal that I eat at home. Occasionally I'll make some mac and cheese, but other than that, it's some shit that I can throw in the microwave. One habit that seems to gross out everyone around me is that I take those Totino's pizzas, you know, those little square ones that you're supposed to cook in the oven, and I throw those motherfuckers on a plate and cook them in the microwave. And yes, they come out soft and squishy. It's like biting into Jell-O made of paper with the taste of cheese pizza. And while that may sound gross to you, I think chewy pizza is a delicacy. You just don't get it, and don't knock it till you try it. Chewy pizza is a culinary. Chewy pizza is a culinary masterpiece that the whole fucking world is ignoring, and I am the pioneer of chewy pizza. If you think that I am trustworthy, buy a Totino's pizza, throw it on a big plate, throw that motherfucker in the microwave, cook it 4 minutes. And then hold it like this as it like wiggles around in your hands and bite it. That's how you eat that motherfucker. Trust me, it's good. Over the years, I have managed to kick my soda habit, which I say kick, but I didn't kick it far because I'll probably get back on soda eventually. I do every time, but I'm from the South, so thank God I have the luxury of being able to just drink sweet tea. I love it. I could drink sweet tea for every fucking meal. And if it's not sweet tea, I should take that again because those were making a lot of fucking noise. And if it's not sweet tea, it's chalky milk. That's fucking right. That's what I drink every meal. If it's not sweet tea, it's chalky milk. I eat and drink like a fucking child. If I go out to restaurants, you better fucking believe I'm not getting chicken Alfredo. I'm getting the motherfucking cheeseburger and I'm gonna dip that in the ketchup. That is how I eat. Think of how a fat person operates, and that's me. And for a long time, I thought that was fucking great, but I swear to God, it caught up to me. Early last year, I was hospitalized from January until about July or August for pancreatitis and gallbladder issues that caused a cascade of fucking medical problems throughout my body. I remember I even had trouble controlling myself in the hospital while suffering with pancreatitis and barely being able to eat anything. When I finally worked my way up to being able to eat fat again in my food, the doctors came to me and they were like, listen, you've been doing good, you've been making progress, you can eat whatever you want, just have some level of control over what you're doing so that you don't overdo it and hurt yourself. And I said, okay, I can do that. And then as soon as they left, it wasn't even an hour before I called and ordered a goddamn chocolate milkshake to be brought to my room. A chocolate milkshake. And you can fucking guess what happened, right? And the doctors came back in like, so, what happened? I'm like, I don't know. It might have been something I ate. And they're like, could it have been the chocolate milkshake? And I'm like, it's possible. It's definitely possible that's what it was. Who's to say? They're like, do you think it could have been the meatloaf that you ordered with the chocolate milkshake? I'm like, I mean, who knows? It could have been anything. Could have been the water. Maybe there was something in the water. I'm just volatile right now. One of the scariest things about all of the problems that I had while in the hospital was my weight loss, because when I went into the hospital, I was about 290 pounds. And then, after a few months when I got out of the hospital from everything that I was going through, I was down to 210 pounds. I lost 80 pounds in the course of a few months, which is very terrifying, and I'll admit to some degree has flavored the way that I think about the amount of food that I eat. Not what I eat, but sometimes after I eat a full meal, I will have the self-control to think, hey, maybe you shouldn't eat that other second full meal. And that's progress. Now, something I found ridiculously fucking ironic is after I got out of the hospital for all of these medical issues having to do with the way that I've eaten that have fucked up my intestines and guts, the last picture as a photographer that I took before I went into the hospital was fucking Red Robin bottomless French fries. That was the last goddamn picture I took before I went into the hospital. If that does not emphasize how much of a fat fuck I am, nothing will. So anyways, that's all I can think of to say about food. I'm 3 Gnomes in a Fat Suit. Like and subscribe, and as always, go fuck yourself. Hi, I'm 3 Gnomes in a Fat Suit, and it's lame. I can do better than that. Oh.